Hi again, everybody, and welcome into MASL TV. A very big game in the Eastern Division tonight, where the 6-6 Kansas City Comets are looking up at the 9-4 Harrisburg Heat. Managing partner for the Comets, Brian Budzinski, joins me now. At first, let's talk about Harrisburg. They're a team that's got 6 victories against teams like Rochester. They're 3-5 against the rest of the league, but they have some very good players, including Tavoy Morgan, who had a great rookie season last year.
Yeah, Tavoy is one of the more exciting players in our league right now, Nick. Dynamic player, both feet, can take guys individually, get them in ISO spaces, a ton of pace. Very, very intelligent player for only being in the middle of his second season.
Let's talk about the Heat's leading scorer. We're talking about number 17, Dominic Francis. What's his game like?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dom Francis. His left foot is fantastic. You've seen his game mature over the last 3-4 years. Coach Pat Healy's got a heck of a player. He's one of the top players in the league right now, and you're going to watch him on set pieces. He's going to be very dangerous for the Comets.
All right, let's talk about the Comets goalkeeper, Nicolau Neto. He'll be making his 4th start. How do you think he's done so far in the indoor game?
You know, Neto is, we see a very bright future in Neto here for the Comets organization. He's got both feet, very, very organized in the back. He's still learning. He's been making some mistakes, but you're going to have those growing pains. But, you know, the sky's the limit with this guy. He's going to be one of the top goalkeepers in the league in 2-3 years.
And a player that's always been there for the Comets, a part of the championship team in 13 and 14, and that is defender Johnny Sosa, who does so much not only defensively but offensively for this team.
Yeah, Johnny's a big-time leader. If the people, the fans knew what John Sosa played through the other day against the Rochester Lancers, his ankle was the size of a softball. But John, he's a gamer. He wants to play. Coach Gibson wanted to sit him out to give him this an extra week of rest. John did not want it. He said, I need to get in rhythm. We got playoffs to make. We got to make the push. That's what John Sosa gives you.
Man, this is going to be a really big game tonight between two teams that are battling for that 4th and last playoff spot. We're just past the halfway point in the season. When we come back, Brian and I will have some roster news for you. It's the Comets and the Heat battling for the only time this season right here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. We'll be right back.
Missouri, number 21, defender Robert Kelly. From Santiago, Chile, number 23, defender Nacho Flores. From Santiago, Chile, number 24, defender Mirko Sandivari. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 27, midfielder Gui Gomez. From Aguascalientes, Mexico, number 30, midfielder Hector Solorio. From Olathe, Kansas, number 99, goalkeeper Mark Saxby. From Monrovia, Liberia, number 14, Comets forward and head coach, Leo Gibson. And now for tonight's starters. From Trinidad and Tobago, number 11, forward, Kyle Williams. From Medellin, Colombia, number 19, defender and team captain, John Sosa. From Belgrade, Serbia, number 20, forward, Stefan Stokic. From Kansas City, Missouri, number 18, forward, Kevin Ellis. From Kingston, Jamaica, number 51, defender, Robert Palmer. And from Juazeiro do Norte, Brazil, number 1, goalkeeper, Nicolau Neto. The Comets goalkeeper coach and former Comets legend is Alan Mayer. The Comets assistant goalkeeper coach is Kenny Mayer. The Comets head athletic trainer is Sean Doomers. And the Comets equipment manager is Butch Schumann. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your 2020 Kansas City Comets. Please remain standing, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the American flag above section 116 and 117. Now, please join us in paying respect to our colors as the Cedar Creek Elementary School Choir from Lee Summit performs our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Greetings, everyone, and welcome into MASL TV live from Silverstein Ice Center's Arena alongside the Comets managing partner Brian Budzinski. I'm Nick Vassos. Great to have you here. Really important game tonight here in the Eastern Division between the Kansas City Comets with a record of 6-6. They're going to be taking on the Harrisburg Heat, who have a record of 9-4. Harrisburg in 4th position in the Eastern Division, Kansas City in 6th. Baltimore separates Kansas City and Harrisburg. So this game will go a long way in proving what's going to happen here in the playoffs. And Brian, talk about the importance of this game between these two teams battling for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Nick, for the Comets, this is essentially a playoff game, right? I mean, you're 6-6, and you've got to leapfrog 2 teams to get into playoff spot position, right? If you're the Harrisburg Heat, okay, you just went on the road and won a huge game against the Tacoma Stars in front of a great crowd on a Friday night when they were up 6-1. They battled, the Stars came back in that match and made it a game, and Harrisburg Heat was still able to prevail in that match. That tells you what type of road team the Heat is, and so they're not going to be intimidated coming into Silverstein Ice Center's arena.
I pointed out the fact that Harrisburg has 6 wins against Rochester, who are winless in this league, and they're 3-5 against the other teams. But those 3 wins that Harrisburg has are good victories here. So, don't go thinking that, it's all, they're just, beating the Patsies. Harrisburg's got some quality on their side.
Yeah, I mean, they just beat Baltimore at home, okay, right? And then like we just mentioned, they went to Tacoma and won a big game. And the Stars right there, they're trying to get into the playoffs on themselves over on the Western Conference. So that was a big loss for the Stars at home.
Huge.
And then there you're seeing right there, you see Pat Healy. And listen, man, I've got a ton of admiration and respect for the Healy family. Pat has turned this franchise completely around, on the field. And then, his father, Kevin, from a front office perspective, is changing everything there, off the field. Mm-hmm. And so Carl's got a good group going over there with the Heat, and they're on the upswing. And this, man, Nick, this Eastern Conference is a dogfight.
Kansas City's a championship town.
This division, with everybody being grouped in the division, has made things very, very interesting. There is the leading scorer for Harrisburg, Dominic Francis. You made reference to him, one of the many dynamic players on Harrisburg's side. Now, for Kansas City here, there's going to be 3 players that are not going to be in the lineup tonight. Ray Lee, Ray Sari, and Matt Lewis. Those 3 players will not be here. They are quality players, and USL franchises are getting underway right now, and a couple of those players have made some signings with USL teams.
Yeah, listen, we signed all those guys in the beginning knowing that they were going to come in and kind of help us with the roster transition. To have all 3 of those players play essentially half the season with us, it's worked out for everybody. It worked out for us as a franchise. It worked out for all 3 players. They're going on to do what they're going to do with the USL, and we're always going to be an option for those guys, whether it's next year or long-term in the future, too.
So Kansas City dressing 14, and the Comets getting an early chance here with Gibson over to Berto, but their keeper, Bananame, it comes out and knocks it away. William Bananhene, goalkeeper from Rochester, New York. He was rookie 6-6 last year with Harrisburg, and has proven to be very good. He's 6-1 this year, and 72% save percentage and a 4.5 goals against average. We're just underway here at Silverstein. Kansas City and their home Blues with Red Sox. There's the Comets keeper, Nicolau Neto, his record 1-2, making his 4th start for Kansas City. Lucas Rodriguez with the ball for the Comets. Again, Kansas City, 6-6. Their Comets have a plus 15 differential. Here's Rodriguez. Lucas into the corner looking for Leo. Leo is the league's leading scorer with 38 points. Still bounding around. Leo's got it. Can he pounce on the rebound? Leaves it for Kelly, who shoots and scores! Robert Kelly, the left footer, and the Comets strike first.
Listen, that's a great left foot by Robert Kelly. It's a one-time volley right here you're going to see, Nick. Leo Gibson plays the ball right off the boards. He's just trying to create some stress for the defense to have to deal with. A poor clearance right there. The ball goes right to Leo, and then look. That's your veteran move right there. Veteran leader lays that ball right there on a silver platter to Robert Kelly. Doesn't need to take 2 touches, finishes it on the 1 touch. Good start for the Comets.
17 assists for Leo the Great. And Robert Kelly with the left footer. That's an impressive shot there by the youngster out of Kansas City, Missouri. Meanwhile, back at the other end, almost a quick score there coming off the foot of William Eske. Neto was up with it, and the tower throws it long looking for Leo. Bounces off of the veteran Nelson Santana. He's been in the league for a decade. Comets win the ball back, and Sandovari has it for KC. On up to Guy Gomez. Gomez plays it forward to Gibson. Gibson marked by Santana. What a matchup that is. Pair of veterans there in the corner.
Yeah, Nick, you're going to see that matchup all game. Okay, listen, I watched the Tacoma game. You know who was draped all over Nick Pereira? Nelson Santana, right? You know Pat Healy's got the exact same philosophy coming in against the league's leading point scorer and Leo Gibson.
Well, Leo tried something over his head, but over the glass it goes. And goalkeeper distribution coming up for their keeper, William Bananhene, in his 2nd season. There goes Leo Gibson. Leo with 22 goals and 16 assists. Last year, 33 goals and 31 assists for the veteran for the Comets. Bananhene.
Yep, Bananhene. Yeah, William is a heck of a goalkeeper, having a great season. And listen, his numbers, when you got a leader like a Nelson Santana right there in front of you, that helps you be when you're a young goalkeeper right there.
I'm going to keep practicing it, all right? I practiced at home before we came out. And I've already messed it up once, but I've got the pronunciation right here. Bananhene. And there's Bananhene displaying his foot skills there. Heat plays it up the near side. Picked up there by Tavoy Morgan. Morgan there trying to dart inside of Kyle Williams. And he's able to get it in the middle of the Heat score. It's Marcel Berry, the rookie, getting his 3rd goal of the season. And really, that was Tavoy Morgan all the way creating that.
Yeah. You know, looking at Tavoy, seeing him in person for the very first time, Nick, okay, and I liked watching this guy last year, and then I've seen him now in the 2 games. Well, I've seen 2 games I've watched that they've played. He is extremely impressive in person. Very strong on the ground, a low center of gravity towards the ground here, and then he just held off the defender, played a nice little ball across with his left foot, and Kevin Ellis kind of a little bit loose defensively right there, and it put the ball in the back of the net.
Morgan gets his 2nd assist on the year for the Spanish Town Jamaican native. It's his 2nd year with the Heat. An impressive rookie year, 23 goals and 10 assists last year for Harrisburg. We are tied at 1 in the first. 11 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first. Long way to go here in the opening quarter. And Neto with it for the Comets. Up to Sandovari, then back to Neto. Comets playing on a Thursday night game. For the first time this year, they'll have another one down the road. Here's Adam James, now over to Gibson. Leo turns and fires, but blocked immediately by Santana. Then touched by Danny DePrima, and eventually out of bounds off of Harrisburg. Kansas City will have it.
Both teams kind of feeling each other out right here, Nick. You know, you've got
Leo with some space, shoots off the near boards. No good. That one just barely off target.
Harrisburg fortunate right there to escape without giving up a goal with that poor connection right there.
Adam James turns, goes forward, trying to slide it over to Rodriguez. Now pinballing around. Dominic Francis with a touch on it. Up to the half line. Whistle and a foul called against Kansas City. Changes for both teams. Fresh legs out on the floor for both Harrisburg and Kansas City. Harrisburg, 9-4. Their goal differential is plus 36. Francis, their leading scorer, with 25. Daniel Villela has 21, their 2nd leading scorer. And here's Villela with the ball. Leaves it to a teammate, Patrick Thompson. Thompson had a very good game in Tacoma. He had 3 goals up there at Showware Center. Ball gets past Neto, squirts across the goal mouth, and Kelly is there for the Comets. They clear it away, but held back in by Harrisburg. Here's Thompson again. Thompson's drive with the left foot up and over the glass. Goalkeeper distribution coming up to KC.
It's a good game, Nick. I can just see it with both teams. You got guys who are super aggressive on their marking right now, not trying to let guys turn with the ball. A little bit of pulling and tugging, not to let guys get into space. It's going to be a good match, Nick.
Kansas City in action this weekend. They'll head back out onto the road to take on the Milwaukee Wave on Saturday night at 6:07. Tom Wynn and MASL TV will have that game for you. And then the Comets will play an unusual exhibition coming this Sunday down in Wichita at 5 o'clock.
Full weekend for the Comets. Yeah, Coach Leo Gibson, the planning that's been going on with Coach Leo Gibson, athletic trainer Sean Dumers, myself, Scott Levinson. Oh, Nelly.
Wichita's been impressive down at MASL too. They've done a good job this year.
Yeah, we're excited to get back down to Hartman Arena, help those guys, with what the growth they're trying to do there, while also making sure we're focused on the prize of getting in the playoffs.
Good crowds down in Hartman Arena too this year. Here's Leo pumping it back into the last third of Harrisburg. Back there to retrieve it is Nelson Santana. Under 10 to play in the first. This is the first and only meeting between these two teams this year. Bananahene is out with it. And from the half line, boots it into the corner, looking for Morgan. Headed back by Stokic. Comets have it. Sandovari. And Neto. Neto rolls it into open space. Nobody is there. Comets dressing 14, so they're without a couple of defenders, as we just mentioned. Ray Lee and Matt Lewis, they've moved on to their USL duties. And we'll have to watch the back line. Here's a drive by Francis and a good save there by Neto. Francis will stay up to apply some pressure. Comets get it over to Sandovari, but intercepted by Villela. Crossed into the middle there, taken away by Rodriguez, up to Gibson, and then forward to Adam James. James racing into the corner to try to intercept the ball. But Hananhe, he couldn't get it, and a shot by James off the near side. Oh, Comets get it back after a misplay again by Harrisburg. Kansas City eventually knocks it out, and again, Comets cannot take advantage of a miscue by Harrisburg.
Some nervous moments back there for the Harrisburg Heat.
Maybe that's something the Comets can exploit over the next couple of minutes here in the first.
Yeah, again, lucky to get away with not giving up a goal right there. Adam James just ding-dong, like you say, right off the post there, and could have been 2-1 Comets.
Neto trying to play it up to Kelly, but instead taken by Elton de Oliveira. Touched by Dylan Hundelt. That name's familiar to Comets fans. His father, Kevin. Now the Comets get it back. Stokic in position. Stokic triple teamed and the ball came free. Comets get it back. Now Stokic over to Kelly, who tried to hit it first time. Could not find the ball. And back the other way, Gerger Gibson racing towards the ball. He collides with Nacho Flores, and a foul called on Gerger.
Gerger, you can see he's got that knee brace on right there on his right knee. Little ginger when he's up against the boards. Nothing malicious there. You can tell he's not at 100%, but obviously he's trying to, It's an important game for a lot of guys, and that's why he's playing here.
Big body out on the floor, too. Nacho over to Berto. Berto has had a good year defensively, which we all expect, and offensively. And he was trying to find his teammate Nacho down there in the corner. Now Sosa trying to head it to a teammate. Comets fighting, battling to keep the ball. They'll have to reset their offense here with about 7 minutes to play in the first quarter, and we're tied at 1. Johnny Sosa feeling better after a hamstring strain that's slowed him over the last couple of weeks. Comets pump it in there. Harrisburg gets it back, and a 3-line pass there by Nelson Santana, and they'll bring it back towards Harrisburg's side of the field.
It's uncharacteristic, quite frankly, from Nelson. He's such a good player.
He's always been one of my favorite players. He's a good defender, and his offense, too.
Yeah, Nick, what he does is he puts his foot on the ball, right? He puts his foot on the ball, and he stops things and gets control of the game.
Here's Sosa. Over to Rodriguez, who shoots. But Haname makes the save. And then a foul called on Kansas City.
A lot of times, Nick, you say you want good players. Just put your foot on the ball. Just control things. Just organize. Be an administrator, be a distributor. And Nelson Santana has been one of those guys back when he was playing for the California Cougars, Nick, he was one of those guys. And he's still doing it at such a high level right now.
Tavoy Morgan battling with Robert Kelly. Kelly almost separated the ball. Villela comes up with it for Harrisburg. 6.5 to play in the first. Francis goes forward. Down to Morgan. Morgan shoots. Save made by Neto.
Good work there by the Comets, right? Just a little simple triangle build out of the back right there. And just as I say that, Kelly plays the ball a little bit too far in front of Neto and almost have a turnover.
I've noticed in watching Neto in his first couple of games, here's the Comets getting another chance. Back to Flores, who shoots, and Nacho bangs it home. The Comets lead 2-1. They made him pay that time.
Yeah, that turnover right there, and very well done by Adam James and Nacho Flores. Right here, you see Leo with a good ball to Nacho, unselfish, one-time soccer, over to Adam James, one-time back to Nacho. Nothing a goalkeeper's going to be able to do right there, Nick. That's a little 2v1 soccer, right? Textbook play.
Nacho coming up with his 4th goal of the year. And for the kid from Kearney, Missouri, Adam James, he tallies his 4th assist of the season. 2-1, Kansas City on top of Harrisburg. And we have our first timeout, official timeout of the game. Fans, we'd like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production back in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. And did you know what player from the Harrisburg Heat is from Huddersfield, England? I ask you, Brian Budzinski.
He's got arguably the best left foot on the field right now between both teams, and that is Mr. Dom Francis.
Mr. Dominic Francis, number 17, his 4th year with the Heat, hails from Huddersfield, England. How about that?
So I'm going to tell you a little story about Mr. Francis over here.
Yeah.
So I want to say 4 years ago, I watched them, the Harrisburg Heat, play right here, and I was sitting down low, and I watched this young man play, and I immediately, after the game, I tried to go get him. I said, this guy's going to be a player. And talked to Kim about him. At the time, our roster was so loaded in the midfield, we decided to not pursue Mr. Francis. So you fast forward to this year, Pat Healy sends me a text at the beginning of the season, says, hey, bud, welcome back to the league. We've missed you. Are you interested in this particular player? I said, hey, no, I'm interested in that Dom Francis guy. He goes, Brian, we're about to sign him to a 5-year deal. He's going nowhere.
Kind of like that. Peel the curtain back on the execs in the MASL and how they do business. That is a pretty cool story there.
Congratulations to Dom. I believe he recently just got engaged as well, and I'm sure his fiance is watching back at home and her family and all that. And it's another one of those great stories. This player that came over here, found success in the league, and now he's in the community and he's established in Harrisburg, and that's what you want to see, Nick.
By the way, greetings to all those in Harrisburg watching on MASL TV. We appreciate you stopping by, and hello to my old partner, Mr. John Wilsbach. Here's Jer Gibson. Got it over to Valella, but 4 blue jerseys back there behind the ball, and the Comets take over. Stephen Stokich tripped up on the Comets' defensive half, and KC will have it. Guilty party there. It might have been Jer Gibson.
Yeah, it's the second half. Something Coach Healy will have to pay attention to. It's early, Nick. I mean, you're 5 minutes left in the first quarter. You already got 2 fouls.
So here's Neto coming up. Sends it into the corner, but the ball not high enough. Headed straight up into the air. And Bonanhene out towards the defender. Kansas City with pressure there. And Bonanhene plays it up to the center circle, and the Comets win it back. One other game in the MASL tonight, and that's down in Orlando. San Diego is on a really tough road trip right now. They're 10-3. They're going to run with the Orlando Seawolves at 1-11, and that game already underway. We'll try to get you a score, but they've been to Monterey. They've been to Sonora. They're in Orlando tonight. And then they still have one more game on the East Coast. I can't remember where.
Florida Tropics.
Florida Tropics. Oh, one of the big games Saturday night in the league.
Listen, the San Diego Sockers went, first off, they went and played at Harrisburg. Then they played at Baltimore. So they won at Harrisburg.
Oh, that's right.
6 games in a row on the road.
Oh.
Anybody want to complain about what your schedule is? 6 games on the road, 2 on the East Coast, 2 down in Mexico the next weekend. And then those guys got up from Sonora, and they're playing. I mean, they played in Sonora, Hermosillo on Tuesday, and they're playing Thursday in Orlando.
Yeah, you want to complain about your schedule? See San Diego. Wow. So, again, we'll get a score on that here in a little bit. 3 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in the first. Kansas City a 2-1 lead over the Harrisburg Heat. Neto. James. Neto into the corner looking for Sandavari, and it's knocked out of bounds off of Kansas City.
Yeah, you want to talk about road trips, okay, and rough road schedule. Let's talk about the Harrisburg Heat, okay? They're playing tonight at Silver Signs Eye Centers Arena here against the Comets. You know where they go in 2 days? They go to St. Louis Ambush. Then you know what they do the next day after that? They're playing Saturday in St. Louis, Thursday Kansas City, Saturday in St. Louis, Sunday against the Milwaukee Wave.
That is a brutal. That's why this game is so important. There's a shot there and a save by Neto. That went off the foot of Marcel Berry. Now, Gerger Gibson is able to pounce on the rebound, and the Heat have been able to tie it at 2-all.
Yeah, good pressure by the Harrisburg Heat. Just a lot of persistence on this one right here, Nick. You know, you're watching a little bit of backdoor marking here by Nacho. He's not as tight as he needs to be on Gibson, and that's where you get this little backdoor tap in. But it's the pressure that was created, okay? So persistence, you're playing the ball off the boards right here, and then look, back post. Got to stay with your mark. Nacho's mad at himself. He's hitting himself on the thigh there. He knows it.
There's Gerger Gibson. Gibson, of a veteran of this league, a 7th arena season. He's played in Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Syracuse, St. Louis, the Lancaster, Pennsylvania native, now with 8 goals and 10 assists on the season. Drive by the Comets and a save by the Harrisburg keeper.
There's another one-time hit by Robert Kelly from a ball off of Coach Leo Gibson's foot.
By the way, the San Diego Sockers lead Orlando 3-2. That game is early on. We'll continue to update that score as we go out throughout the evening here. Coming up on 2 minutes to play, and it has been even between these two teams. Again, Harrisburg in 4th place in the Eastern Division, Kansas City in 6th place, separated by the Baltimore Blast, who are going to have a pretty easy weekend this weekend. Well, I can say it from my broadcast position, but games are never easy for teams. But Baltimore will host Rochester on Saturday, and then Baltimore will have a Sunday game in which they will host Orlando. So they have Rochester and Orlando in back-to-back games this weekend.
Yeah, Nick, you know, it's part of the schedule. Everybody's got to have it a little bit. And you know what you're seeing here is Harrisburg's schedule and Baltimore's schedule is essentially reversed. First half of the season, Harrisburg very heavy, Rochester, Orlando. Baltimore very heavy, second half, Rochester, Orlando.
Yeah, we did some math last weekend. 11 games against Rochester, Baltimore, and Harrisburg, although Harrisburg is not going to be as easy as a lot of people may have thought. Here are the Comets walking it in, and Kevin Ellis let his emotions get to him, and Kevin Ellis is going to sit out for 5 minutes now. We haven't called Kevin's name very much at all in the first quarter. Now we do, and we won't be calling it for another 5 minutes, and Kevin really not happy at all with that call.
Yeah, I need to see the replay on it, Nick. To be honest, from the broadcast booth, it looked like a foul against Harrisburg. But, you know, referee's right down there in front of it, so he's obviously got a better angle than you and I do from 300 feet away.
Kevin Ellis.
This is a 5-minute non-power play penalty.
We're going to give you a look at this.
Yeah, Nick, I don't, either that's a no call or I don't know that that's a foul on Kevin. Now, that being said, you can't, the extracurricular on it, that got you 5 minutes. That's the problem, right?
Yep.
And Kevin knows that. He's a pro.
Well, we just hope it doesn't turn out to be like this first game back as a Comet when the Wave were in town and Kevin got frustrated in his first game. He got 2 yellow cards and wasn't able to contribute like he was when the Orlando Seawolves were here and he scored 5 goals. And then the next game when Milwaukee came back, he scored 2 goals, including the game winner. So Comets need Kevin Ellis on the field.
Let's hear it, Comets fans. Let's take
Under a minute to play here in the first. We're tied at 2.
Fouls on Comets 10. Lucas Rodriguez, his first of the half.
Forward it goes to Devoy Morgan. Morgan marked by Berto of the Comets.
Tough to get off the ball, Nick. You can just see that right there. Berto's a big, strong defender, one of the better defenders in the league, and Tavoy is holding him off right there.
They try to get it into Tavoy. Comets able to poke it away up towards the half line. Daniel Villela is there. Villela will take it back to their defensive half. Leaves it for his teammate, Danny DePrima. Now over to Villela, to DePrima, and then Hundell. Forward it comes to Tavoy Morgan, and boy, good defensive, strong play by Berto to knock the ball free, and then it goes out of bounds. Who's it, the ref going to say it's off of? They say it's going to be off of Harrisburg.
I'll tell you, Robert Palmer's having a really good year. His career has, he's kind of had some ups and downs, and last year he had a bunch of injuries, but I will tell you, he has been reinvigorated playing under Coach Leo Gibson. Very proud of how Robert's playing this season.
He's among the leaders on the Comets team in scoring, and he leads the team in blocks with 25. Horn sounds as Nacho uncorks the heater, and that's it for the first 15 minutes. Good first quarter between these two teams, battling for a place in the playoffs as we wind it down here in the regular season. After 15, it's Kansas City 2 and Harrisburg 2. We'll be right back on MASL TV.
Once again graciously donated their suite this season to honor the men and women who defend our country. At each home game, the Comets and Domino's recognize local veterans for their service. Today we welcome Jed Thornton to the Domino's Defender Suites. Jed joined the Army in 1998 as infantryman. While serving, he deployed to Japan, Korea, and Australia. During his service to our country, Jed has been stationed all over the United States. He currently lives in Sedalia, has a daughter in high school. Jed now runs a fishing guide service called Bill Collector's Guide Service, where he donates trips to veterans to help them get re-engaged. Comets fans, put your hands together and a big thank you to Jed for all that he's done for our country.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
Oh, I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 Call to have the underground utilities marked?
Ah, I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget, and that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
All right, back live inside Silverstein Ice Center's arena. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos, great to have you here. Our director, Brad Zimmerman. Rachel Tooney is our replay operator. Photographers Chris Wright, Paul Stokes, Megan Hendrick are here, and our director of operations is Brock Martin. Got a full team here at Silverstein bringing you the sights and sounds. We appreciate their help. Appreciate you being here on MASL TV. We welcome those of you in the Harrisburg area, wherever you're watching around the country. Into this broadcast here. 2-2, Kansas City and Harrisburg tied at 2. The keepers switch ends, and now the Comets will move it right to left. Out there with the ball is Nacho and plays it back to Nicolau Neto. What'd you see there in the first 15 minutes, bud?
Well, I saw two really talented teams going against head-to-head against each other. I also saw a little bit, quite frankly, to be honest with you, a little bit of poor defending by both teams. Harrisburg had quite a few turnovers that they didn't end up paying for, and then obviously the Comets weren't marking properly a little bit defensively.
And the referee says that John Sosa went in there a little bit too aggressively, didn't get the ball, and is going to be called for tripping penalty. Sosa will be sent off for 2 minutes. He'll join his teammate Kevin Ellis in the penalty box, and Harrisburg will go on the power play for the first time. Tavoy Morgan is the one who's down on the ground. He was the one who was trying to get past John Sosa. John thought that he got the ball. And then when the blue card came out, Sosa argued his point, turns around and heads back to the penalty box.
Blue card issued to Comets 19.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, you know, Tavoy's a big boy right there.
Penalty.
You know, Sosa went down to ground on that tackle, and you know, we're glad to see Tavoy. Looks like he's okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then now, you know, how can the Comets defend this power play? They're missing two key players now, right? Okay, they still got Kevin Ellis out, plus John Sosa. Both these guys would probably be on this penalty kill, quite frankly. So how does Coach Leo Gibson make these adjustments?
Kansas City 47% on penalty killing. They've been shorthanded 19 times and have allowed 10 power play goals. On the power play, Harrisburg 53%. That's fourth best in the Eastern Division. De Oliveira has 3 power play goals, so we'll look for him. They're 10 of 19. Villela with it on the right wing. Down to the corner. Nacho got a touch on it. Dom Francis is there, pokes it up into the air, over the goal mouth, and into the right wing corner. Battling with it there, a couple of players, and a whistle and a foul called on Kansas City.
One of the unique things that Harrisburg has over most teams on their power plays, they got a bunch of lefties out there. Okay, so they got 3 left-footed players out on their power play, and it changes the dynamic completely from a defensive perspective.
Interesting. Dom Francis behind the ball in the right wing corner. He's got Villela basically right in front of him. And Elton De Oliveira is essentially right at the top on the yellow line. Through the middle. Shot just above the crossbar and rebounds out to De Oliveira. There's De Oliveira pumping it back in there. Oh boy, a good 1-2 with Dom Francis taking the shot, sends it up and over the glass.
Yeah, it was a good play by Harrisburg. Saw the Comets came out and pressured on that, and then they immediately went back in the corner. Instead of trying to work it back up, a lot of teams going to slow that thing down, and then you let the team trying to do the power play kill, you let them kind of reset and get reorganized. Great job by Harrisburg. Go right back in there.
Accidents happen. If you had one drink too many,
13 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the second. Fans want to remind you about the official MASL podcast. The MASL podcast returns for the 2019-2020 season. Join us as we talk to players, coaches, officials from across the league and take you behind the scenes. Check out the podcast at maslsoccer.com and listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast on Apple Podcasts. Jeff Husted and I will be doing the next podcast on Tuesday of this week, so look for it on Tuesday or Wednesday. We are set to record that. Talk about all the happenings that happened then this weekend, and we'll look ahead to down the stretch here of this regular season. Going to be really interesting, especially in the Eastern Division. Comets trying to work it out of their last third. Gibson's pass almost picked up by Villela, and then Neto able to avoid one defender. Comets eventually get it across the half line. De Oliveira, Dom Francis, ball pinballing around. Kyle Williams with a touch on it now. Dylan Hundelt's in the area. Now Gibson. He'll just kick it all the way back to Neto, and the Comets will reset.
Good job right there by both Kyle Williams and Leo Gibson, keeping the ball inbounds, making Harrisburg have to defend 2v2 up here. And then as soon as the numbers got back for Harrisburg, what did the Comets do? All the way back to the goalkeeper and reset. It's a great job. They're going to kill the power play here.
And the
Comets are back to full strength. Good job by the Comets as they kill off the power play. Now Berto with some space. Oh, Berto wanted to cut it back in, and he may have twisted his ankle a little bit. Berto a little bit slow getting up. Whistle. Ron Corey calls and stops play as Berto will now limp off the field, and we have to keep an eye on Berto. Comets are short defenders here, and
yeah, that doesn't look good, Nick.
He's one of the Comets, if not the best defender for the Comets.
I just was speaking about him, how he's having such a great year. Got his visa stuff taken care of, and as soon as he got, as soon as he got in, man, he'd been putting in all the work in the offseason, and he just hit the ground running. And, I mean, he's one of the league leaders in blocks, and he missed the first 3 games.
Yeah, wow. Stokic got tangled up with Marcel Berry, and Berry wanted something called there, but no call. Both teams play on. Sandovari on over to Neto. Neto to Adam James. Adam James gets it in towards the middle, marked by De Oliveira. Passed it to Kyle Williams, kicked out of bounds by Harrisburg, and the Comets will have it at the top of the arc. Sosa comes back on. He'll trigger the restart. Talks to Leo Gibson.
You see Leo and Sosa talking right there.
Sosa shoots. Ding dong off the crossbar. Sosa looked for the upper right-hand corner and almost fit it in.
Kevin Ellis is back on the field after serving at 5 minutes. Sosa took a little peek at him, Nick, and then tried to fit it in the upper corner right there as the defense shifted over.
Against the boards to get it to their keeper, Bananhene. Nicolau Neto. He is 2-0 as a Comet keeper. He's saved.
Nick, listen, he's born in 1995. Okay, you want to feel old? He's born in 1995.
Thanks.
He's 25 years old. He's got a very, very bright future. Comes from Coach John Klein's program in Columbia College. Former professional indoor soccer player. John Klein, good friend of the Kansas City Comets. One of the most outstanding coaches in this country.
Here's Tavoy Morgan in the corner. And his touch lets him down, and the Comets take over. 9 minutes and 16 seconds left. Bananhene unloads that to Dom Francis. Francis boots it forward to a teammate. Sosa steps in front for the Comets. And then the ball kicked over to Leo Gibson. Leo waiting for some mates to show up, and here comes Sandovari down the near side. Over to Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis looking for someone to pass it to, gets it to Sosa, and the Comets press forward. Nacho to Ellis. Ellis, the Oak Park High School graduate right here in Kansas City. Star for Sporting Kansas City all those years, and signed last year midway through the season. Played 10 games and scored 10 goals and had 4 assists, and really helped the Comets make the playoff run last year, only to lose to the eventual MASL champion, the Milwaukee Wave.
Nick, our fans are going to see here, Robert Palmer is back out on the field right now. We'll see how he does. See if Sean Doomer's got him all taped up.
Drive by Nacho, saved by Bananhene. Now Santana operating in between a trio of blue jerseys, and the Comets able to wrestle it free from the veteran. Here is Berto. Berto appears to be moving okay. Now they try to slot it to Berto, making a run towards the goal. Kicked out of bounds, and Ron Corey says it's going to go into one of the corners and not the top of the arc.
Little personal congratulations to Ron Corey, man. He has been doing so many games.
30th season in the reffing games.
I'll tell you.
30 years.
I've known Ron personally for a long time, and it's wonderful to see the accomplishment. The league has recognized Ron for what all he's done, and he does a great job. He's a great ambassador to our game. And what he does is he takes his experience, his lineage, and he provides it on a lot of these younger guys, and that's why we have such quality referees in this league, is because of guys like Ron Corey.
Yep. And Ron Corey right there talking to Leo Gibson.
He's telling Leo, say, hey, go get back in the huddle over there. You got a set piece in the corner. Go get your boys organized.
Always a treat talking to Ron before the games. He's a good guy. All right. Hey, outside of being on a team, the best way to see what's happening around the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. If you haven't listened to Soccer Sam's show, you got to give it a shot here. Every weekend, Soccer Sam chats about the ins and outs of all the MASL action. You can find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. Also, don't forget to follow the MASL on social media if you're not already. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram at MASL Arena on Twitter. Halftime score, the other game going around the MASL, and that is the San Diego Sockers leading the Orlando Seawolves by a score of 3-2. That's at halftime. I have heard from our Jeff Husted, who's keeping an eye on that game for us, that San Diego is resting a lot of their starters, and they have gone with some of their second-line players in this game. And that's probably a wise move by Phil Salvaggio based on this crazy road trip that these guys are on right now.
I will tell you, St. Louis Ambush tried a similar philosophy when they went down there and they had to come back towards the end. They almost lost Orlando. They ended up winning by a goal at the end.
Interesting. Oh, good chance by Sosa, who threaded the needle through the middle, and Rodriguez flashed in there but couldn't put a boot on it. Now a drive by Harrisburg. That went off the foot of Patrick Thompson, saved by Neto.
Good set piece coming out of the timeout right there, Nick. Lucas is probably going to want that one back. It was on his right foot. You saw earlier, Dom Francis had a ball on a set piece, and it was on his right, and he shot it over. And the similar situation right there, Lucas Rodriguez on his right, and he did not finish point blank.
All right, here's Dylan Hundell. Goes for the wall pass. Comets read that one perfectly. Clear it out. Held in by Elton de Oliveira. Left by Danny DePrima, then over to Villela. Into the middle to Hundell. The math major lays it down to Dom Francis, who hit it with a left foot. That one up and over the crossbar. See if Kansas City can clear it out. Boy, a great ball by Hundell. And now down the right side, Adam James, who shoots, and a save is made by Bunhanhane.
It's a great ball by Leo Gibson on that transition. Played Adam James into space perfectly right there.
I see why Harrisburg likes this keeper. He's made some good saves tonight. Now a drive by Leo. That one wide left. Gerger Gibson trying to clear it. Touched by the Comets. Now Villela avoids Gibson.
It's nice work by Villela right there. You get the league leader in points hunt you down in a corner, and you're all calm, and you're going, just flick that over your head.
Hundelt. Comets pick it off. Guy Gomez. Guy puts on the brakes, plays it back to Robert Kelly. Comets reset. Kelly goes off. Berto comes on. Correction, Sandoval goes off. Berto comes on. Nacho. Gomez. Gomez had it taken away by Hundelt. And a foul called on Gomez.
Yeah, Guy's in the corner right there. Nothing happening. You got to find a guy and connect on it. You lose that ball, obviously. Now what are you having to do? You're having to fly back defensively. You got to be smart here. It's 2-2 ball game in half. This is a good game. It's going to come down to mistakes, Nick, honestly. It's going to be coming down to guys, the team that capitalizes, right, on the other team's mistakes. And, both teams have not capitalized, quite frankly, on a few, to be honest with you.
Agreed. 5, coming up on 5 to play here. Here's Elton de Oliveira, leaves it for Villela. Villela now inside Comet territory, right down Main Street. He gets taken down, no call. Both teams play on. Back the other way comes Berto. Here's Berto down the right side. He fires a shot. Save made by the keeper for Harrisburg.
You know, Nick, who we have not seen, I didn't mean to interrupt you right there. You know who we've not seen for Harrisburg for a little bit? Nelson Santana.
Nelson Santana.
We'll see if we can get some sort of update for the fans back home in Harrisburg. I've not seen him on a shift here, and probably the last 3 or 4, Nick.
Scan the bench there, and I don't see him. Oh, I do. Yep, he's sitting down there on the bench on the near side. I've got a visual on him now. So we'll try to find out what might be happening with Nelson Santana. Meanwhile, Patrick Thompson plays it up the right side. Comets break it up. Sosa gets it over to Sandovari. Sandovari hassled there by Gerger Gibson. Back to Neto. Comets will send a couple of players off. Leo comes back on for Kansas City. Played up to the Comets' iconic logo there on the center circle. Over to Leo. Now to Sandovari, who was flashing in. And that touch goes right into the keeper, Bananhene. Santana. Correction, that was Malcolm Harris into the game. Malcolm Harris and Santana look similar from the distance. Malcolm Harris wears 77. Nelson Santana wears 78. Coming up on 3 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the first half. We're tied at 2.
Both teams very deliberate, Nick. I think it's because early, both teams were making some mistakes defensively, and then now I think both coaches, Coach Healy, and then you got Alon Matingu over there on the bench, just saying, hey, listen, man, let's just kind of calm this thing down. Let's be smart with the ball.
Both teams locking it down. Berto on over to Neto. Now we see some movement from the Comets offense. Across the half line to Lucas and then back to Neto. Clock now under 3 minutes. Neto rolls one into the corner looking for Leo. He's going to battle with Hundelt. Hundelt gets a touch towards the center circle. Comets will take it back. Now Sosa forward to Gibson. Gibson almost, and did lose it out of bounds. So Harrisburg will have it. There's Leo Gibson, league leader in points. How does Leo do it? How does he do it year in and year out, bud? When he came, when this Comets franchise was reborn again in 2010, and meanwhile a pass down the field, and that was dangerous there for a moment. Malcolm Harris was close. But fans will remember that Leo Gibson started out as a defender in 2010 and then just started scoring goals. Meanwhile, at the other end, here's Elton De Oliveira. His drive, shoots, save, blocked by Sandovari. Hold that thought here. Kelly clears it away for Kansas City.
Nick, you asked how he does it. The simple answer is he outworks everybody, right? He just has a commitment to taking care of his body. Everything that goes in that body is paid attention to. It's cataloged.
Gerger Gibson.
He gets his rest, right? He makes sure he's doing the yoga. He's just takes care of himself, and he just outworks everybody else. That's why the culture in the Comets locker room is as good as it's ever been, is because he sets the example. And if you don't want to play and you can't work as hard as Leo because he's setting the example, you're probably not going to play. And so at the end of the day, he just works hard. Puts his head down, brings his lunch pail, goes to work.
14-15 MVP, Leo Gibson. So restart coming up, and a Comet player, Mirko Sandovari, made a block with his face, with his head, and was shaken up a little bit. Good to see that Mirko is walking off under his own power, because he took quite a shot to the head.
Yeah, it was a very tough shot right there.
So Mirko goes off. Restart coming up with 1:27 left on the first half clock. Villela behind the ball for Harrisburg. Villela through the box. Shot by Francis. Blocked by Nacho. Harrisburg with some pressure on the Comets' yellow line. Here comes even more pressure. Francis. Now over to Berto. Berto looking for some help, calls up Leo. Leo is there. 1 minute to play. Over the near side to James. Adam James had the ball taken away by Villela.
Valelo's a good player.
Oh, really good.
Smooth, man. Just dispossessed Adam James, just like you're unlocking the door to your house, man. Just turn the knob and go right on in.
36 seconds left. Gibson gets the ball back up to Berto. Can the Comets get something late here? Berto over to Kyle Williams. Williams to Berto. Berto shoots, blocked by De Oliveira. Ty Hall had it for a moment. Kansas City gets it back. Gibson fired a shot. Deflected back towards the Comets' defensive half, and we have about 10 seconds to play here in the first half. Neto kicks it long, 7 seconds on the clock. To Kyle Williams, now to Berto, back to Kyle, trying to hit it on the volley. Could not get a boot on it, horn sounds. Good try there by the Comets. A little bit frustrated there in the last minute there as the Comets couldn't get one on goal. But how about the first half? Pretty competitive here. 2-2 between Kansas City and Harrisburg. I think you can tell these two teams know this game means a lot. And they're playing as such tonight. We're going to stand by here. Steve Serrano is on the field. And either we'll hear from Alan, I think we're going to hear from Alan Mayer, Comets goalkeeper coach. And as soon as we get Alan Mayer in position here with our photographer, we'll take that shot here in a second. Kansas City 2 and Harrisburg 2. And let's go down to Steve Serrano with Alan Mayer. Let's go.
At halftime, what can you see moving on into the second half to really improve on?
Well, it's been a really good first half for both teams. They both played very well. We've been some good shots on goal, and the defense has stood up to the pressure. It all boils down. This is really, Steve, it's a real simple game. Second half, we just got to come out and outdo the man in front of you. You know, you have one-on-one duel. You just go and win that battle, and hopefully we'll come out with a win.
Best of luck in the second half, Coach. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Steve Serrano with our Alan Mayer, Comets goalkeeper coach. We'll take a break. We are now at halftime. The Comets 2 and the Heat 2 on MASL TV.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim, and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
Somebody can go for the split, though.
A lot of excitement going on here.
I think some are just going for Comet. That's what I'd do.
Comet one more time around. Harvesters fling for food. If we have more than one, that amount will be equally divided.
Here he comes last time around.
All right, Comet, come on back. He's pedaling, he's pedaling. Let's see if we got ourselves a winner. We do. Some excitement going on here at Silverstein Ice Center's Arena. All right, our winner. Hopefully this is your Harvester ball. I'm looking for 348. 348. If that's you, congratulations. You're $100 richer with Harvester's Fling for Food. You can redeem your prize right outside of Section 102, the concourse. Congratulations. Harvester's Fling for Food. Brad, back to you.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
Connor, will you do better than her?
Probably.
Probably. All right, there's the confidence. All right, Connor. When you're ready, Comets fans, make some noise for Connor. Let's do this, Connor. Come on. No pressure, no pressure. Ooh. Brock, I think they need some music here. Get them a little bit of theme music here. Let's get them pumped here. Come on. Nice kick, Connor. All right, who's next? What's your name? Introduce yourself.
Jevin.
Where are you from?
Lee Summit.
Didn't know you had to think there for a second.
No.
Just moved there?
No.
Oh, he's okay. He's been there for a while. All right, here we go. Jeffin from Lee Summit. Season tickets could be yours. Provided by us. Some good kicks. All right, we're down to our last 3. Introduce yourself.
Doc.
Doc, well, you going to do better than the rest?
I'm going to try.
Where are you from?
Lone Jack.
Lone Jack. Where are your seats at, by the way?
Right there.
Right there. Is that, who's waving at you? You know them?
Oh, yeah.
You know, all right, good. All right. Woo! All right, we got 2 more. What's your name?
Gary.
Gary, where are you from?
Kansas City.
KCMO, all right. I'm ready when you are. He's got the boots on. Hey. 1 more. All right. Introduce yourself.
Laura.
Where are you from?
Shawnee.
I like your hair, by the way. That's nice.
Thank you.
You look like Brock up there. All right, here we go. When you're ready. Woo! All right, the boss says we get to do it one more time. Make some noise again one more time for these season ticket members. I won't distract you. You do your thing. You take your time. or don't take your time. It's okay. It's all right. Thank you, Comet. Hold up. Take your time. Stretch it out. Flip your hat around backwards so you can see well. Whatever you need to do. Whoo. There you go. Turn it up a little. Come on, turn it up. Let's feel this. Let's feel it. Oh! That's the closest I think we've ever seen, right? Can he kick again? Can we let him kick again? Oh! I could watch this for a while. All right, 2 more. Toe poke that bad boy. Toe poke it. Oh! 1 more. Let's hear it again for all of our season ticket members that come up here, put on a show for you. Let's do it. That's all right. Let's hear it one more time for our Comet season ticket members. So close. All for our entertainment. Brad, to you.
Everybody's a winner if they're here watching the Comets tonight. The Comets would like to say thank you to all the groups and special guests in attendance tonight, including Cedar Creek Elementary and Legacy SC Manchester United U14 boys soccer team. The Comets would also like to wish a happy birthday to the following people. All right, the Comets would like to wish a happy birthday to the following people. Happy birthday to Rita Ramsey. Happy birthday to Ramon Palmer.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget. And that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim, and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
Through middle school from all over the Kansas City area are taking part in this unique program that encourages kids to put down their electronics and read more. Once each student has met their reading goal set by their school, the student gets a free ticket to an upcoming Comets game. All thanks to Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2.
All right, we're looking at some first half highlights of the Comets and the Harrisburg Heat. Here is one of the mistakes made by Harrisburg. Adam James able to find Nacho Flores, and that gave the Comets a 2-1 lead before Gerger Gibson able to answer at the other end. Here it is. This is where Villela able to cross it over, and Gerger Gibson unmarked and able to knock it in the back of the net. And that is where we are here at halftime. We are tied at 2, 15 minutes on the clock, and we are underway here in the third quarter. Neto is tripped up by Dom Francis, and a foul called on Francis.
Fouls on Harrisburg 17, Dominic Francis. His first of the half.
Here's Neto. Neto looking to get it to Gibson, and Gibson was knocked to the ground by Elton de Oliveira, and no call, and Bananahene comes out with it, gets it up to Hundell. I've been having trouble with the Harrisburg goalkeeper's last name, Bananahene. I might have to go back and get some help from the league's Director of Communications, Jeff Houston, who came over and gave me a little bit of help at halftime, and I want to thank Jeff for that. The pronunciation guide in the game notes kind of steered me a little bit wrong. I'm not blaming anybody here, but I've never called a game with Bananahene. God, I did it again. Bananahene. So anyway, I'm going to try to get it right here in the second half, all right? So I'm going to do my best. As Heat fans, if you'll bear with me, I'm trying my best. And if you've been with me after all these years, you know I'm not perfect with names, all right? I try to be. I practiced Bananane's name before the game, okay? And so maybe I didn't practice enough. But I'm going to try to get it right here as we go forward. We are tied at 2. Kansas City and Harrisburg. Their first and only meeting this time this season. Gerger Gibson knocks Berto down to the ground, and a foul is called on the Heat. Gibson is pleading his case, but falls on deaf ears. Kansas City will have the ball. Here's John Sosa. On over to Nacho, and then up to Neto. Comets managing partner Brian Budzinski joins us here in the broadcast booth. Here's Gerger Gibson. He had 1 goal in the first half. Brian Harris is watching on MASL TV, the former Comet defender champion in the 13-14 season. He asks me on a message here, what's the keeper's name again? Bananahene. But I was just sharing with the audience out here about how much struggles I've had with the Harrisburg keeper's last name. We've got a phonetic pronunciation here, and I told everybody that I was practicing before the game, and I'm still struggling with it, okay? So it's full transparency here, and going forward here, I'm going to try to get it right, all right? So
I think you've been doing a great job, quite frankly.
Well, I mean, I don't think so, but I'm gonna try here because I want to get it right, you know.
You know, Brian Harris.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had 5,000 conversations with Mr. Harris over the years, and he struggles to get half the words out, normal pronunciation.
You listening, Harris? You listen to that?
For him to call in on a vet and a pro like yourself, Nick, it's uncalled for. I think you single-handedly got him like first team all league by championing him every time he did something right for
I
all
did.
Those years.
Meanwhile, a rush from Harrisburg. They try to get it over to Tavoy Morgan. He'll pass off the mark, and the Comets avoid any trouble there. And here's Kyle Williams with it. Berto knocked it out of bounds. And, towards the last 5 minutes of the first half, Bud, you pointed out that both teams really had slowed things down. And early on here in the third, I'm not seeing much difference in the way that these two teams are attacking each other. Very deliberate, careful, picking their chances here against each other.
Well, what did Coach Alan Mayer say right before he walked off?
Yep.
He said it's going to come down to individual battles. Well, what does that usually mean, individual battles? Individual duels. It means
Dom Francis with a drive from beyond the yellow line. It comes off to Dylan Hundell. Lucas Rodriguez goes down, holding his right ankle. Meanwhile, Palmer of the Comets is called for a foul. Berto a foul. Lucas still slow to get up. Nelson Santana comes over to help out the Comet midfielder.
It's good to see Nelson Santana back out there. We never did get anything to say what kind of happened to him, but bottom line, it's you want to play teams when they've got their best players and you got your best players, and so you want to see Nelson Santana out there, even if you are a Comets fan.
Comets dressing 14 tonight, so Comets need everybody out there, all hands on deck. Dylan Hundell over to Villela. Villela, a good, fast player, and a foul called on Kansas City's Kevin Ellis. Correction, Leo Gibson.
His first foul of the second half.
Villela. And Ellis goes in again and gets another. Well, they said Leo had the first foul. I'm not sure, that might have been Ellis' second foul there here in the second half. Villela slow to get up. Okay, they're going to give, that's Ellis' first foul, so they gave the other one to Leo.
You know what, Nick? I'm good with it, right? I like it. I like it when the guys that are big-time guys get into it a little bit. You know what I mean? You got Santana kind of chirping a little bit. You got Leo. You got Villela. You got Ellis. I like it. For me, it adds a little bit. When the guys that are your alphas on the field for either team start to kind of ramp things up, now the level, is going to start to go up.
So let's see what happens here over the next couple of minutes. Harris got mixed up in there with Malcolm Harris, that is. Not Brian Harris, who's hitting me on my text messages right now. Brian, I'll get back to you in a second. 9:40 to play in the third. Comets and Heat tied at 2. Here's Ellis. Kevin Ellis facing defender Patrick Thompson. Now a drive by Sandovari off the pass. And that one out of bounds. Goalkeeper distribution coming up for Harrisburg. All of the scoring so far happening in the first quarter. There was no scoring in the second quarter at all. Here we are in the third. And again, the Comets are going to be on the road coming up this Saturday in Milwaukee for a 6:07 game. Tom Wynn and MASL TV will have the call on that one. Comets will have a rare exhibition game the following day on Sunday, February 9th, 5 o'clock down at Hartman Arena. And for Harrisburg, their tough road trip continues. They're here in Kansas City. And then Saturday, they'll be in St. Louis. And then Sunday, a game in Milwaukee. And then after that, the following weekend, they'll be in Baltimore. So 4 straight games on the road for Harrisburg. 4 tough games for Harrisburg on the road. Kyle Williams up to Stokic. Now over to Adam James. And Bonanane comes out. Kicks it away, but the Comets kick it back in the last third. Stokic off the boards.
Good job by Adam James. Williams coming out deep out of that goal box there, and he's kind of put himself in a couple precarious, situations there. I like the aggressive play by him.
Yeah, Bonanane he's been great. He's 6-1. So he's
another one of those up-and-coming young players. You're starting to see, Nick, now, for old guys like you and I that have been around here for a little bit, you're starting to see these new young guys that have, kind of starting to come in and take their spots in the league. It's exciting to watch.
Yeah. Leo lost it. Now Lucas trying to get some help. Morgan Tavoy on the near boards.
It's fantastic work by DePrima right there.
Yeah.
2 guys, Lucas Rodriguez and Leo Gibson, all over him, and he still gets out of that. That's great work.
Thompson. Forward to Villela. Morgan trying to dart inside. Lucas Gerger Gibson shoots, save, rebound shot, no good. Villela there on that rebound.
That's the guy you want shooting from there if you're a Harrisburg Heat fan.
Here's Thompson. Thompson with 3 goals against Tacoma the other night. Up into the air, headed towards the goal. Neto's got it.
Not in Neto's net. Nothing's getting in there. Let's hear it.
Things are ratcheting up here in the third. Here's Berto. Across the line, puts on the brakes. Comets will set up their offense.
Good battle right there. A little Dom Francis, Robert Palmer, 2 top-end players. Dom Francis gets the better of him.
Yep. Francis draws the foul against Berto, and Harrisburg has it with 7.5 to play in the third.
I should probably call him Dominic Francis instead of Dom. It's like, you know, I've given him a nickname like he plays for us. 'Cause that's how affectionate I am about his game.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Hundelt lost it. Gathered once again by the Heat. Francis, his pass too far in front. Comets come up with it. Rodriguez able to avoid Ty Hall. Ty Hall, the Baltimore, Maryland native. 7th arena season. Nacho forward, it goes to Leo. Leo in a good spot, trying to turn the defender to foul. Is called. That's going to go against Malcolm Harris.
That's on Harrisburg 78.
Correction, that's on Santana.
His first of the second half.
Now Ellis and Santana are getting into it.
Dangerous set piece. Look at the Comets. Got Kyle Williams. Johnny Sosa's over the ball. Lucas Rodriguez. Kevin Ellis. Lucas is peeking in, talking to Leo.
Sosa. Lucas. Ellis just above the crossbar. So close. Now a shot. Goal! It is Ellis. Kevin Ellis strikes for the Comets, and it's 3-2. That was perseverance there by the Comets, and they grab the lead once again, their 3rd lead in the game.
I like it, Nick. I like it a lot. You know, remember what I said earlier about some of the big boys kind of getting into it, get a little chippy? Now look, yeah. Kevin, what's he immediately do afterwards? Whereas he's looking for Santana. And he wants to tell him about it, right? He wants to tell him. You can't foul Leo Gibson here. You can foul Leo Gibson, you stand over the ball. I'm going to tell you about it a little bit. Now, what's going to happen the other way, okay? Now Nelson Santana's game's going to raise up a little bit because Kevin's chirping in his ear. This is what you want to see, Nick. This is where the big boys, the alphas, get into it a little bit. Nobody's playing dirty. Okay, that's not what's happening. But these guys are really high-end, high-level players. So I'm excited now to see what's Dominic Francis going to do. What's Nelson Santana going to do?
There's Leo. And since it touched the keeper, does the assist still stay, or will that go as a unassisted goal there for Ellis?
I believe that will be an assist from Leo Gibson. I believe.
And if that's the case, that's Leo's 18th of the year, and Kevin Ellis gets his 9th tally of the season. There's Nelson Santana.
Yep, and you see Nelson Santana saying, hey, guys, let's get going here, right?
And Nelson wearing the captain's band for the Heat. A veteran out of Oakland, California. .647 left to play in the third. Kansas City a 3-2 lead. Comets are 6-6 on the year. Harrisburg 9-4. Comets have the Baltimore Blast in front of them in 5th place, and the Harrisburg Heat in 4th place. Leo and Kevin Ellis. There's Leo.
Let's hear it, Comets fans. They're not getting past our Comets defense.
Comets coming out with some pressure.
Okay, first team coming out of the break, getting the lead is the Comets. Now, how can they respond, and how does Harrisburg respond?
Comets get it on the Heat side of the field. Harrisburg takes it back. Here's Morgan. Out wide to Villela on the right. His shoots it off the wall and bounced in. Goal by Harrisburg. They respond, and the game once again tied at 3.
Just said it, Nick. How are you going to respond? Great pressure here by Harrisburg. Nice simple ball by Morgan.
And a great ball by Villela.
That's going to be a goal for Villela.
Wow.
Own goal off of Mirko.
Danny Villela from Tijuana, Mexico. His 7th goal.
But Nick, here's the thing though. What does Villela do right there? He puts it into the mix, right?
Yep.
And in indoor soccer, you're throwing the ball. What did Leo Gibson just do the previous goal right before there? He wasn't taking a shot that was probably going to score, but he was hitting the ball with pace and hitting it low. And then William has to parade it out, and then ball falls to Kevin Ellis. It's the same concept.
So once again, tied at 3. How will the Comets respond? How will the Heat respond? Here's Jerjer Gibson. Gibson off the boards. Nobody flashing in there, and then lastly comes in a Heat player. It's Hundelt. He's back up on his feet. Hundelt trying to send it back into the mixer. Harris, Malcolm Harris, and now Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly knocks it out of bounds. It's going to go off of Harrisburg, and Kansas City will have it. There's Robert Kelly.
Robert's having a good game so far.
You like his intensity?
You know, he's a Kelly, first off, okay? And that's the way anybody from Kansas City that has played soccer in this market, whether it's a male or a female, whether they're 70 years old or they're 18-year-old, they will tell you that the Kellys play hard. Whether it's Neil Kelly, whether it's Megan, who's playing for the Canadian national team right now, whether it was Katie, who was a Gatorade Missouri Player of the Year and All-American at Marquette, or Pat Kelly, who is watching probably on this broadcast at home up in Iowa with his new wife. They all play hard. That's the one thing that Vlaco Andonovski used to say to me. He goes, the one thing you know about a Kelly is they're going to play hard.
I love that answer. Three-line pass. We have 4:27 left to play in the third. And actually, that was a foul there. The Comets will have it right in front of their own yellow line. Sosa's there. And by the way, we have to spend a moment in congratulating John Sosa. He and his lovely wife had a gender reveal that I saw online the other day, and it looks like the two are going to be welcoming in a beautiful baby girl in the future.
Yeah, congratulations to John.
Yeah. And here's John racing down the far side. John's got it now. Sosa on over to Kevin Ellis.
I'll tell you, just to watch John's growth, from being in a rookie coming out of UMKC to what he's done in this community and what all he's done at Benedictine and now, he's getting married and he's going to be a dad, and man, he's just such a great role model, and it's fantastic to see that growth.
Foul called on Hundelt against Kevin Ellis. Ellis chewing on Ron Corey, asking Ron and saying, hey, what's up with that? Ron says, let's go. Sandovari took a tough shot to the head in the first half. He's back out there running around for the Comets. Sosa lifts it into the corner for Leo. Leo double teamed in the corner, reaches around, kicks it to Sandovari. Ball still loose, and then kicked away by the Heat. Villela gets it out to Jerjer Gibson. Gibson marked by two Comet players. Pretty nifty work there by the big fella Gibson to get away from those two Comet players.
I'll tell you, the ball by Villela was the ball. Great vision.
Here come the other way. Jerjer Gibson to the far side. Stokic running with Morgan. Good defensive play there by Stefan. Under 3 to play in the third. Tied at 3. Patrick Thompson in there with Elton De Oliveira. Also Malcolm Harris, the rookie. Now back to De Oliveira. Here once again Thompson. Wall pass into the middle. Good save by Neto, and then kicked off the line by Sandovari. Good team defense there by the Comets.
Unbelievable save by Neto. See a replay on this thing. He's going to probably want to put that one in the highlight book.
Nicolau Neto. Here it is, bud. Ty Hall gets a touch on that one. Ooh.
Needed every bit of that 6'4" frame, didn't he?
No kidding.
Ty Law took it well, too.
And then Sandovari helped out the keeper there to kick it away as it may have bounced across the line. Neto throwing long for Leo. Wow, what a... Leo stuck his foot. I mean, it must straight up into the air and then almost got the ball to settle on the ground immediately.
Remember when I say he does the yoga?
Yeah.
That's how he gets his leg to do that. Most other people would tear a hip bone on that, Nick.
My entire hip complex would be laying out there on the floor.
I'll tell you, the more I watch Morgan, the more impressive he is.
Here's the Heat. Francis crossed into the middle. Berto kicks it away.
Heat's got the Comets on their heels right now, Nick.
Santana under 2 to play in the third. Morgan trying to get past Berto. Kyle Williams knocks it away for the Comets. Up to Berto, then back to Francis, who shoots and scores! Francis makes the Comets pay in their last third, and the Heat have their first lead of the game. It's 4-3.
I think you're going to see on this replay here, Kyle Williams probably should have played the ball to Neto. Instead, he went to Berto up against the boards where he had another defender on him. And, you know, Dom Francis staying deep down here. So, well, this is just the finish right here. Neto probably wanted to do a little bit better on the save there. Come out. He had more space in the box to close that down. He could have literally just sat right in the back hip hop pocket of Dominic Francis right there. But it was the ball before then from Kyle to Berto that probably should have been to Neto.
So how will the Comets respond here? 1 minute and 26 seconds left in the third. And the Comets now trail for the first time tonight. Neto rolls the ball forward to Leo on the half line. Leo trying to get around Elton De Oliveira. Foul called on De Oliveira as he holds Leo in the midfield area.
That's on Harrisburg 26. Elton De Oliveira, his first of the second half.
Sandovari touches it down to Ellis. Ellis tries to dart inside Kevin Hundell. Hundell slams the door. Ellis will play it into Rodriguez. Sandovari, under a minute to play. 4-3 Harrisburg, into the corner for Leo. Leo marked by De Oliveira. Front and center Sosa. Thought about taking it. Now winds up the left foot. That one blocked by Ty Hall. Hall comes up with his own rebound. Here's Hall down the left side. Moves into the right. Hall with a shot and a save made by Neto. Hall did that all on his own and created some space. And a player shaking up on the field. Is that not Ty Hall? It's someone else. I don't see a number over there. Oh, it looks like it could be Marcel Berry, the Charlottesville, Virginia native, the rookie.
Yeah, it looked like Lucas Rodriguez was clearing the ball, and I think it cleared it off of him. Yeah, good sportsmanship right there.
He bounced right back up, so good news there for Heat fans. Marcel Berry back on his feet. 2 goals, 2 assists this year, and 2 blocks in 10 games for the rookie. Kansas City will have it with 28.2 seconds left. Clock now rolling, and the Comets trailing by 1. Berto forward to Nacho. Popped it up into the air. Benanine comes out, and then cleared out of bounds by Harrisburg, and I think that's going to give the Comets a chance at the top of the arc. So great opportunity here with 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, if the Comets could score here.
Huge.
Huge. That's a critical error out of the back.
So Sosa behind the ball. Sosa Comes around, leaves it for Leo. To the corner, shot, goal! What a pretty restart for the Comets. It's Lucas Rodriguez, and the game tied at 4.
Well executed set piece, Nick. Got Johnny runs over on the left. Leo with the slot. Nice clean strike by Lucas Rodriguez. It's just a very, very well done set piece. That one is right off the training grounds, Nick.
That's one that you work on hundreds of times in practice.
Yeah, and listen, it's also personally, I know the Heat fans don't want to hear this, but it's nice to see Lucas Rodriguez kind of get going. He's had this nagging hamstring issue. That bye week, and then he went down to Disney World for 4 days. You know, Mickey and Minnie can help clear up a lot of things for you.
Lucas is 5th on the year. Leo Gibson, his 3rd assist of the game. Leo now has 19 helpers on the year. Horn sounds, and that's it for the 3rd quarter. A huge goal by the Comets. 2 by the Comets, 2 by Harrisburg. And we are still knotted up, this time at 4. With 15 minutes to play. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will have the exciting finish here on MASL TV.
Kansas City, or call Hector at 816-218-9205 for more information. Show Hector some love. Let's join him in on this chant. Come to the 4th quarter.
All right, 4th quarter is underway. We got the clock situation going on here. The clock is showing 8.8 seconds left, and I'm certain that we have 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes to go, and that is correct. Brian Budzinski, Nick Vassos with you on MASL TV. It's great to have you here. Thanks for stopping by. We'd like to say a very good evening to those of you in Harrisburg watching on MASL TV. We've got our director, Brad Zimmerman, our replay operator, Rachel Tooney, photographers Chris Wright, Paul Stokes, and Megan Hendrick. And we also have our Director of Operations, Brock Martin. The sights and sounds of Silverstein Ice Center's arena brought to you by our crew here who worked so hard. And to put on a terrific broadcast, we say thank you to all of those working here in the arena. And we have ourselves quite a game, Brian. 4-all here. Huge restart goal at the end of the third for the Comets to get it tied at 4. We'll see what happens here in the final 15 minutes. Both teams have been playing it very close to the vest, and we'll see if things open up at all. Harrisburg with the ball.
I'll tell you, Nick, I don't know what the viewership is right now on this game, but my phone is blowing up from Tacoma to Iowa to Pennsylvania to Western New York with Soccer Sam. Everybody's watching this game right now. Lane Smith in Tacoma pulling off a trade for Evan McNeely from Ontario.
That's a big move right there. Trade deadline is today.
Made the big move, subtracting a player from one of your rivals and adding onto your squad. It's a big move for Coach Nick Pereira right there. Adding a very experienced player in the back line. The West playoff race, man, just like the East, is crazy. It's a different year, Nick, than what you're used to.
It is. There's no doubt about it. Meanwhile, at the other end, oh, what a play by Neto! Oh, my. Boy, Morgan and Barry were down there, and they worked a great give and go there, and Neto reached out with one of those long leaves and kept it from crossing the line. Amazing.
Fantastic job by Neto right there. Morgan couldn't have played a better ball either. That's one of those mistakes the Comets had right there that Harrisburg did not capitalize on.
Gibson playing the target there, trying to peel it back for one of his players making the run. The Comets read that one and broke it up, but the Heat maintained possession. Barry has it. Now Hundelt, now near side de Oliveira. Comets and Heat tied at 4. Big game between these two teams. The Heat in 4th place. They are 9-4 on the year. Comets 6-6. They're in 6th place, looking to move up. They have Baltimore between them and Harrisburg. Leo in the Comets' last third, able to get it out to Sosa. What a ball by Leo.
1v3 and against the board. So if you factor the boards in as an additional defender, 1v4, and Leo gets out of that ball.
Incredible. Down to Ellis. Ellis in the corner, double teamed by Harrisburg. Ellis trying to peel away, still going forward, trying to get it out to Nacho. Amazing work there by Ellis in the corner. Still going to work in the corner, battling with a couple of other players. It's Malcolm Harris coming out with it, but the Comets rip it away from Harris.
Great stuff by Kevin Ellis right there.
Now
Unbelievable
Gibson.
Work.
On over to Nacho. Here's Ellis. Across the field to Sandavari. Now Sosa. Looked for Leo downstream. Leo standing behind.
You ain't going to find him because he is hiding back there in the goal. It's a great shot by our camera crew right there, Nick.
Great shot.
Just sitting back there watching, just waiting.
Now chipped forward for Nacho. Now Leo gets a touch, fires it in there. Nacho thought about deflecting it, or at least tried to put a touch on it. Now Dylan Hundell trying to clear it. Long drive, save! Made by the Heat keeper.
Sitting down there, taking a little rest, taking a little break.
Banana Hene. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Banana Hene. Dun, 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 dun. Here's Leo. Leo still, Leo smashed to the ground. No call. Now Williams is there, but the Heat come out with it. And racing down the field is Eske. Eske trying to dart inside a Comet defender. And Kelly comes out with it.
Great job by Robert Kelly there. 1v1. What did Coach Alan Mayer say? 1v1 duels right there. Well, that's what that is by definition.
Good ball up to Leo. Leo trying to dart inside Dominic Francis. And Kyle Williams gets tripped up. Kyle Williams holding his left leg. He's going to be all right. No penalty. Comets will have it on the restart. 10:15 to play in the game.
Intensity levels out of the charts, Nick. Robert Kelly, Leo Gibson over there, Dom Francis, Tavoy Morgan. Holy cow.
Sosa. Berto. Berto rolls one in there from distance. Santana comes out with it. Gets it to Dominic Francis down the right side. Into the middle to Santana. Santana shoots and scores a Heat goal with 10 minutes to play. It's 5-4.
Yeah, 3v1. Heat had to score on that break. Berto's going 1v1. Well, we'll see that after the play here. But nice and smooth there from Dom Francis. Ran it well. Robert Palmer there with the, he's at the top of the arc, Nick, right below the 3 line, and he rolls that ball into Leo, and then immediately counterattack 3v1 the other way.
Dominic Francis comes up with his 4th assist. Nelson Santana, his 4th goal on the year. Five to 4. Harrisburg. Sosa. Header by Nacho. Now Leo. Leo into Nacho. Good defensive play by Jer Gibson there of the Harrisburg Heat. Now Sandovari bangs it off the boards. Gibson clears it away. 5-4 Harrisburg over KC. 9 minutes to play. Now Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams rolls it in there, and Santana pops it up into the air.
That wasn't a great change by Jer Gibson. He ran off the field and he created a 5v4 situation for his own team.
Now Kyle Williams, who shoots, and Bananahene makes the save.
Great save.
Bananahene.
Unbelievable kick save right there.
Kyle Williams so close in this game. Here is Sosa over the top. Kyle Williams with the header off the near side, no good. Now Santana, wall pass to Ty Hall. Hall moving forward. No call, Comets. As Ty Hall goes down, you thought maybe a foul might be called there, but no. Officials did not see it. And the Comets will press forward. Long ball into the corner looking for Ellis. Santana and Ellis both give chase. Santana lifts it towards the half line. Sosa's there. Good ball over to Leo.
Great touch by Johnny. Nice simple ball right through there.
Chipped forward to Kelly. Kelly working hard on the volley. Kevin Ellis launches it up into section 101.
Couldn't get it to sit. Was trying to make the turn on it, and that ball just wouldn't sit down for him. It's a great offensive play, though, by the Comets. Nice turn by Kelly. Right idea by Kevin.
Well, here's the situation. 8:07 left to play in the game. Harrisburg 5, Kansas City 4. The Comets are 6-6 on the season. Harrisburg 9-4.
Got our boy Tommy Tanner watching Utica FC. Tommy, I'm looking forward to coming up there and watching the other blue turf field.
Yep.
Ryan Hall's doing a great job with that squad. Tommy Tanner, one of the best guys when it comes to indoor soccer. Good friend of the Comets.
For sure. Under 8 to play in the game. UCFC in 3rd place.
Just a great job that they've done up there. The crowds are fantastic. The squad's playing well.
Yep. Tied for 2nd with Milwaukee at 8-3. Florida leading everybody in the Eastern Division.
That team is loaded.
Florida
loaded.
I can't wait to watch the game on Saturday between the Sockers and the Trops. That's going to be one heck of a game.
Fouls on Harrisburg, 17. Dominic Francis, his 3rd.
So a restart of the Comets' offensive 3rd. Here's Leo. Hit it first time. That one blocked out of bounds. It'll basically go back over to Johnny Sosa. We've got an official timeout on the field. It'll give us an opportunity to remind you of the official MASL podcast. The podcast returns for the 2019-20 season. Join us as we talk to players, officials, coaches from across the league, and we're going to take you behind the scenes of the MASL. We will talk about pronunciations on this next edition of the MASL podcast with Jeff Houston. Banana Henne will be focused, we'll have that as the headline there. See if I do this right. Banana Henne. There we go. I got it right. Anyway, MASLsoccer.com to log on to the podcast. And if you haven't seen the show MASL Primetime, folks, come on. You need to check it out. I think we've got, this is episode 10 or 11 right now. Alex Banchevsky hosts the show. And it gives you the latest highlights. We talk to coaches, talk to players. You got video. So it's a great show, and it's on MASLsoccer.com. It is right on the homepage. So don't miss MASL Prime Time.
Great job the league does with that broadcast.
It is really good. It's good.
Wonderful to see a couple highlights from this match.
Probably.
You're probably going to see a lot of Harrisburg Heat highlights in the next edition of the MASL Primetime. They got 3 games in 4 days.
Right. And these are all games of consequence. When you talk about St. Louis, Kansas City, Milwaukee, those are all teams that are in the mix. Sosa drives one in there. Esque with the block for the Heat. He comes up with the rebound, plays it forward to Elton de Oliveira. His touch lets him down. Well, the Comets were looking for a call there. Berto plays it off the side of his head back to Neto. Neto throws it long, and Leo gets tangled up, and there's no call there.
You don't see Leo act like that very often, Nick.
Neto shaken up also. So 2 players are shaken up. Leo pleading his case. Comets will restart. Neto limping just a little bit in front of his goal. We'll keep an eye on him. Danny DePrima. Oh, no. No, Leo Gibson went in there hard and tripped up de Oliveira. And that might have been a penalty and frustration there on the Comets. Head coach there, Leo Gibson. Tripping penalty called against Leo.
Yeah, it's a foul and a frustration by Leo, and I'll be honest, by looking at his face afterwards, you could tell he actually regretted, what he's doing there. He understands the consequence. You're down by a goal in the game, Nick. Okay, now you're going to go take the league leader in points. You're taking him off the field, and you're taking your head coach off the field too. Okay, so this thing's doubly compound, right? Triply, right? Because it's not even a word. Triply's not even a word. But the point is, you've got power play. Now you got to kill, and your best players not playing, and your head coach isn't playing.
Stokic challenging Villela. Power play underway for the Heat. They're 0 for 1 tonight. This is the second power play for Harrisburg. Comets on the season again, killing off average of 47%. Harrisburg about 53% on the power play. Here is Berto. Berto, one of 2 players. Oh, where's the penalty there? There it is. Penalty going to go against number 14, Tom Meller, who's into the game for one of his first shifts, and he comes on the field and he commits a penalty.
It's a bad foul. Robert Palmer's 1v3 right there. And then he just ran 40 yards down the field, so he's gassed. He's not going to be separating anyways, So you see this great ball by Lucas. Okay, so now Alberto cuts in. Now look, 3 Harrisburg Heat players around him, plus Santana's got the angle, right? So they teach you back in the day, Nick, cover and balance right there. Nelson Santana's got the cover right there. And Berto's still got to go through the keeper, and he's got no legs because he just ran 40 yards. So now we're going to play 4v4 for a while. This field will get real big for these guys in the fourth quarter here.
Oh, a little give and go there between Lucas and Ellis. Ellis overran it a little bit, thinking that Lucas was going to play it inside. Now Ellis looking for Lucas to come back out. Now Ellis fires a shot. That one blocked by Hundelt. Hundelt kicks it long back towards the Comets half of the field. 5-4. Harrisburg on top. And boy, the clock is winding down, folks. Under 6 minutes to play in the game. Comets need to make something happen here. Here's De Oliveira. Plays it to Bonatahene. All the way back to Neto. There is 25 seconds left on the Comets penalty. So if the Comets can hold here for 25 seconds, they'll go on the power play here for about 35 seconds or so. So they'll have the man advantage. Right now, 4v4. You think this favors one side, Bud, one or the other?
Well, I think Harrisburg's looking just to sit and not try to press 4v4 right here because they know they're going to have another penalty, they know they're going to have 30 seconds they got to kill, which I feel like is a smart idea.
Here comes Leo Gibson.
All right, Gibson's back onto the field, so Comets are on the power play now.
That means this is a Comets.
And the Comets get the ball back. Here's Berto to Gibson, back to Ellis. Ball still loose and cleared away. 29 seconds left on the power play for the Comets. Sosa comes back onto the field. Sosa, Rodriguez, Leo, Ellis, Williams. Here's Sosa to Lucas, who shoots. Goal! Power play goal! Lucas Rodriguez!
Big goal, Nick. Big goal for the Comets. Johnny Sosa steps on the field, calls for the ball from Lucas, and then the heat's too deep right there, Nick. Okay? You're sitting too deep. Dylan Hundelt is too far away from Lucas Rodriguez, and that allows Lucas, and quite frankly, he didn't hit it that well. You see the outspin on the ball?
Yeah, side of his foot.
Yeah. But the problem is Dylan Hundelt is too far compact and too tight right there. He dropped too far, gave Lucas too much space. And then, listen, somebody of Lucas Rodriguez's ilk, he's going to put that in the back of the net, even with the mishit.
Lucas is 6th on the year, 2nd of the game. And for John Sosa, he comes up with another helper. And John now has 6 assists on the season. Tied at 5, folks. And we have 4:34 left to play. We expected a good game between these two teams, and that's exactly what we've got as we see Alan Matingu talking to his mates. The Frenchman, Alan Matingu. He's got Leo Gibson and Alan in there talking.
This game's been a nail-biter the whole way, Nick.
It has been.
1 goal lead. The most by either team. Back and forth. Harrisburg took their first lead. Right back the other way now with the Comets.
Fun game, good game between these two teams.
That's what you sign up for, Nick, right here.
Absolutely.
If you're the St. Louis Ambush, you're just sitting at home. You're like, let that thing go to overtime. You're the Milwaukee Wave. You're like, let that thing go to overtime. Coach Giuliano Oliviero is watching this thing at home. Yes. You know he is. You're saying, run those guys to death. They're running with 14 players. That's fine. Go to overtime.
Santana. DePrima to the corner. Gerger Gibson, and a foul called on Harrisburg. 4:18 left to play in the game. Now Gibson, Gerger Gibson, that is playing up close. Comets kick it long up to Leo. Popped up into the air. 50-50 ball fought for and won by Villela. Leaves it for Gibson, and all the way back it comes to Thompson, and near side De Oliveira. 4 minutes to play in the game, tied at 5. Forward it comes to Morgan. Savoy Morgan still going forward. He shoots, and that one off the near glass. It comes off to DePrima. Correction, Villela. Now out front, Morgan down, shoots, and they just missed it wide. That was so close by the Heat. Fighting for it, Malcolm Harris wins it. And we'll play it back towards the half line. Picked up there by Patrick Thompson.
Comets are fortunate right there. Boy, Morgan, man, right up on the post, all over that thing. Nacho, I believe, came in with that last-second block right there.
So close. Comets fans holding their breath. 3:21 to play in the game. De Oliveira plays it long. One hop right into Neto of the Comets.
Smart play by Neto right there. Saw that Tavoy was kind of cheating right there on Mirko. Brought it down, played Robert Kelly nice and simple.
We're in the fourth quarter now, so the keepers can cross the half line. Berto tried to volley it forward to Gibson, but the Heat take over it. And here's Tavoy Morgan. Morgan had it poked away from behind, right to Rodriguez, and then forward up to Gibson. Gibson in the left wing corner. Marked by De Oliveira, goes far side to Rodriguez. Hits it with the right foot. Up and over the glass.
You'll take that if you're the Comets right there. And listen, quite frankly, you'll take that if you're Harrisburg Heat.
2:43 left to play in this one, folks.
Lucas's run just got in a little bit too early, and that created the angle for him where he had to try to hit that across his body with his right foot.
Long ball by Benenahane, and then down at the other end. Oh my gosh, boy. The Heat were on the doorstep, could not convert. Comets back the other way. Here's Ellis. He shoots. Oh, just barely missed. Rebound wide to the right. End-to-end action here. The Heat with a scoring chance on one end of the Comets 2 times there. Now Ellis with a drive. Saved by the keeper.
You talking end-to-end action?
Oh.
Holy cow, Nick.
Whoa, man. 2:07 to play.
Both keepers coming up huge. Both defenses coming up huge. Guys taking fantastic shot. Tavoy Morgan's shot was fantastic right down there, and then 3 seconds later, Kevin took that thing fantastic as well.
Absolutely. And both keepers playing good as well. Neto with it for the Comets. Foul called on Harrisburg. Look, it might be against Patrick Thompson. That's his first of the half. Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis shaking up. Looks like it's his right foot. Sosa going to help him up. Kevin's going to go off. Adam James comes back on. Berto's got it for the Comets. 1:43. We'll see Kevin Ellis again here hopefully pretty soon. Here's Gibson. Into Adam James. Oh, Adam James lost it. Meanwhile, back the other way comes Marcel Berry. Berry gets it out to Ty Hall.
Good job by Johnny Sosa to kind of slow that thing down and make that ball by Berry get played behind Ty Hall. Allows the Comets to regroup. So little things, Nick, just like that.
Stokic comes on as a defensive runner for Leo Gibson. Stokic has it now for the Comets. Over to Berto. To Neto. Coming up on 1 minute to play, folks. 1 minute to play. Leo comes back on now that the Comets have the ball. Here's Nacho. Forward to Adam James. James back to Berto. Berto plays it long for Nacho. Nacho with the bicycle. Crosses into the middle. Everybody giving chase. They go into the boards here. Leo thought he had it for a moment. Now Nacho goes down. And a foul called on Harrisburg. Kevin Ellis is still on the bench. He's not coming in. He looks like he's getting some tape on an ankle. Now Williams, front and center. Ellis is out of the game. 37 seconds left to play. We're tied at 5. Sosa to Williams. Williams back to John Sosa. Thought about it. Didn't take it. Wise move by Johnny Sosa. Into the middle to Leo Gibson. He's tripped up. Goes down. No call. Malcolm Harris gives chase. Now Lucas Rodriguez. 18 seconds left. Ball still loose. Here comes Villela. He's got it across the line. 12 seconds left. Runs right into Berto. Leaves it away. Now Malcolm Harris with a chance. Neto comes out and makes the block. A drive by Hundell. Blocked by Berto. 0.7 of a second left. And that's it. We're going to overtime, folks. Going to overtime.
Nick, I have nothing to add to what just happened right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Unbelievable by Neto right here. Comes out big, huh? Off his line, 4 or 5 yards out right there.
And makes a clean tackle. And then Berto down on the log roll there. And if there just had been a few seconds left, Leo might have had a chance to get a last-second game winner. But we go into sudden death overtime now. 10 minutes on the clock. First team to score wins.
Nacho going for the bicycle kick to win it. The ball's bouncing all the way around the box.
Oh.
Kevin Healy back home in Harrisburg is banging on his desk. He's thinking they're going to lose it right there at the end. His defense comes up strong. Unbelievable game, man. Two high-level teams right now going at each other.
There's Berto for the Comets. Looks like Kevin Ellis is up and walking around. He's got both shoes on. And it looks like he's got a little bit more tape there on that left ankle. It looks like that was the one that was bothering him. We'll see if Kevin comes back in for the extra frame here.
Our friends in St. Louis, the ambush, they're rooting right now for the Comets to continue to beat up on the Harrisburg Heat so that they can have a little bit of advantage on Saturday. Brian Roth, Shelley Clark, great owners there in St. Louis, doing a fantastic job.
Well, the longest lead held in this game has been by Harrisburg, 5 minutes and 24 seconds. The Comets have had the lead for 33 seconds, 3 minutes and 10 seconds, 39 seconds, and then Harrisburg had the lead for 1 minute 22 seconds. And again, the longest time before the Comets just got it tied, 5 minutes and 24 seconds. So
those are two even strength teams.
Yep.
That's what those stats tell you right there. A fraction of an inch separates these two teams.
Here we go. Overtime, folks. Visitors will have the ball.
Golden goal situation, Nick. Pat Healy has a play off the kickoff right here. Mark my words.
They try to kick it long. Adam James gets knocked down to the ground. Correction, Stokic gets knocked down to the ground and is shaken up. Stokic is not moving it. With official blows the whistle. Stokic went up into the air, and it looks like maybe a rib injury or a midsection injury. He's holding his, and this would be again a big blow for the Comets if Stefan Stokic is unable to go. Right now, Kevin Ellis is hobbled with what appears to be an ankle injury. Stokic now talking to the official. On the field for the Comets, Leo Gibson, Nacho, Lucas Rodriguez, John Sosa, and Berto. For Harrisburg, it is William Eske, Gerger Gibson, Daniel Villela, Danny DePrima. Actually, Villela is not out there, and Elton De Oliveira is. Now on comes Tavoy Morgan for the Heat. Comets with possession of the ball.
In overtime, golden goal. Sorry, Nick.
Go right ahead, Brian.
The possession of the ball is of the utmost importance. Because if you can keep the ball without the other team getting a touch on it to get a quality opportunity, that's the best possible scenario. When the ball starts being bouncing around like this right here, this is when you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Comets collapse on Tavoy Morgan. Now Eske goes over there to try to settle it. He's double teamed by Rodriguez and Sandovari. Now Morgan gets it. He's up front. A shot and a save is made by, now another shot. That one blocked or maybe hit his own teammate, Eske.
What did we just talk about, Nick? Ball starts bouncing around. Crazy things can happen.
Big exhale by the Comets right there. The shot goes into the corner. Ty Hall is there. Hall battling with Nacho. Leo Gibson with a little bit of support. Villela plays it back away from the goal. On back to De Oliveira. De Oliveira chased by Kevin Ellis. Kevin Ellis goes down, and now it's 5v4. A long drive by De Oliveira. And now Nacho and Ty Hall are getting into it. They have been going at it for a couple of minutes here. Now we've got a blue card coming out. Oh, don't get out of control here, folks. Nacho and Ty Hall. You can see that beginning to bubble to the surface.
Ty Hall's got his hand on Kevin Ellis's neck.
So,
I think Ron Corey's going to have to take a look at this.
So the blue card comes out here. If you're Ron Corey, are you sending one? Or are you sending one each from each team into the bin?
So I think there's 3 issues. Okay, I think the first issue is they got to decide if Ty Hall headbutted Nacho Flores. I think the next issue they got to decide is if Nacho Flores headbutted Ty Hall. Then the thing that I'm not sure if our replay crew has it, but you've got Ty Hall putting his hand on Kevin Ellis's neck. That's a third issue where, quite frankly, I'm actually surprised. And you know, if we can get with our camera crew, if we can get some replays here.
Oh, we're seeing a red card. Someone's going to be sent off.
Blue card has been issued to Harrisburg 40 Hall. 2-minute penalty. Blue card has been issued to 23. Nacho Flores.
So Ty Hall gets one. Nacho gets one.
See, I'm not sure if we've, at the top of the screen right there, Ty Hall's got his hand on.
And Ty Hall has been ejected from the game. So if that's the case, if we have blue cards on either side, we're going to have a 4v4 situation.
Yeah, you're going to have 4v4, and then obviously you've got the red card.
Teams will be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
4v4. Again, you know who's the happiest about this right now? The St. Louis Ambush and the Milwaukee Wave. But now, Nick, so let's talk some tactical stuff here, okay? 4v4. The Comets are a little bit shorthanded. With one less player, seems like Kevin Ellis has been able to play and kind of work through his Achilles injury that he has there. So the ball's out of bounds on the side, so this is going to be Harrisburg Heat ball on the sideline, I believe. And if you've got Tavoy Morgan serving the penalty, which different strategy, you know, by Coach Kevin Healy or Pat Healy.
Yep.
4v4 here. The restart is probably the most important thing right here, because 2 things can happen on this restart. Be a little disorganized, you're still focused on the last play, ball goes in the back of the net, or a counterattack can happen the other way for the Comets.
Off the glass, Berto. Oh. Did not want to do it. He tried to touch it away, maybe off the glass, but it goes out of bounds, and this gives the Heat a big, huge opportunity here at the top of the arc. Timeout called by Pat Healy and the Harrisburg Heat.
Great timeout by Pat Healy. And now Nick, what's about to happen here is, okay, traditionally when you're when you've got a top of the arc restart, okay, when it's 5v4 or 5v5, whatever, the difference here is 4v4. There's a lot of space, okay? The shooter has a lot of options, right?
Okay.
They can go multiple directions. They can take a hit themselves because the wall can't be as big as it normally is. That's the number one thing. The wall can't be as big as it normally is.
Good insight there from Brian Budzinski. Folks, buckle up and hold on here. This is going to be a huge play here in the overtime. A big game between these two teams. 9-4 Harrisburg, 6-6 Kansas City. Let's see what happens here, folks. 2 men in the wall for Kansas City. Valella, De Oliveira, and Francis behind the ball. In overtime, we're tied at 5. 4v4. Valella, shot by De Oliveira, goes wide to the left. Missed opportunity there for the Harrisburg Heat. Now 4v4 out there on the floor, and it's kicked out of bounds, turned over to Kansas City.
So now the Comets have the ball. They're not going to give the ball up until they get a quality opportunity, or at least that's the thought process. If you're Harrisburg, you guys sit back and just try to keep Leo Gibson as corralled as possible. And Nelson Santana's going to be all over Leo Gibson.
Leo right now is parked in front of Banana Hene there, their keeper, and now Nelson Santana reaches from behind, pokes it away. Gibson now double teamed, and Gibson kicks it out of bounds. It's going to give the Heat the ball back. We have 7:30 left to play in overtime.
Both teams, Nick, are changing personnel on the on the dead balls. Different set of guys offensively, different set of guys defensively.
Hundelt, correction, Eske. Santana shoots. That one wide, off the target. Gibson has it. Gibson plays it long, looking to get it to Kyle Williams. Headed back to Dylan Hundelt. Heat take over. Santana. Ellis comes on for the Comets. Here's, I believe that's Eske down there in the corner. Correction, it's DePrima. Ellis moving forward, stops on the, plays it back to Sosa.
Great job by Kevin Ellis to take that space right there.
Comets have 4 players. They've got Berto, Sosa, Ellis, and Gibson on the floor. Now back the other way come the Heat. Here comes Harrisburg. De Oliveira down Main Street, still going forward. He shoots, and just wide. Now the Comets, are they going to counter here? Gibson says no, we'll slow it up and work it out.
Tennis match right there, Nick. Back and forth action. Smart play by Johnny Sosa saying, hey, bring the ball back.
Gibson to the corner for Adam James. And now both teams back to full strength, 5v5. It's over now, so here we go. Here's Sosa. Johnny Sosa. Sandovari. Comets need to have this win. They would climb a step closer to Baltimore and to Harrisburg in 4th place. Ball loose out front. Kicked up towards the half line. Sosa heads it over to Adam James. James will play it back to Sosa. 5 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in this extra frame. Williams to Sandovari. Sandovari off the boards.
I thought he was out of the box right there, Nick.
I did too.
But Leo's non-reaction told you it wasn't.
Savoy Morgan tried to trap it. Thought he might not be able to hold on, but yep, Harrisburg has it. Here's Eske. Off the boards, looking for someone in the middle. Hundelt flashed in. Heat maintained possession. Jurger Gibson now with it. Back to the center circle. Hundelt forward. Valella. Hundelt. Far side. Eske. 4.5 to play in overtime. Gerger Gibson. Sosa had it for a moment, lost it. Ball still loose. Sandovari flicks it away. Adam James is there, trying to avoid Esque. Gets it to Sosa. Back to Neto. Good job by James. Sosa and Neto. Neto plays it long, and that's a 3-line violation coming back the other way.
The energy, the nervous energy, Nick.
Oh, man.
You know, I come back in the booth with you. That's why I prefer sitting, having a cold adult beverage. Have a heart attack over here, Nick. I'm trying to be partial. This MASL soccer's got me fired up, man.
All right, 50 feet away, front and center. DePrima. Francis, blocked by Berto.
I love the call by Pat Healy. Trust Dom Francis's left foot.
DePrima off the wall forward to Morgan. Back towards the half line, De Oliveira. Forward to Morgan. Tavoy Morgan double team. Tavoy Morgan still. Comets rip the ball from him, now almost lose it. And we have tied up in the middle, and Robert Kelly is shaken up on the play. Robert Kelly is hurt.
It's a really dangerous tackle by Patrick Thompson. It's really bad.
Robert Kelly looked like he got his foot stuck in the turf.
I don't know that we want. I think with our camera crew, I'd just be careful with the angles that we got down there.
Okay. Yeah, Robert Kelly is in serious pain. His whole team is around him. And they're going to bring the medical cart on the field. And they're going to, and the doctor is, Comets doctor is coming out of the stands and down on the field to check out Robert Kelly. Comets need to do here is to stabilize Robert Kelly's lower extremities, the left leg.
Robert's in a lot of pain. See the fans, Nick, chanting his name, Robert, Robert. I'm going to take him right off, not even take him onto the bench. Not putting any weight on that left.
Robert Kelly, the Kansas City, Missouri native, as we talked about earlier in the first half, he comes from a soccer family that's had all kinds of crazy success. All of the siblings, sisters and brothers. We wish the best for Robert Kelly on a speedy recovery. This is his 11th game of the year, 2 goals and an assist, and he had the first goal of this game tonight. Meanwhile, back at the other end, Kevin Ellis trying to take it away from Gerger Gibson, and Kevin Ellis taking to the ground, and a foul called on Gerger. Well, it might have calmed down for a second, but right back up goes the intensity. Into the corner, looking for Leo. Santana
tell you what, Nick. It's a big-time ball game right here. I'm running out of superlatives to say about these two squads right here. Pat Healy's doing a fantastic job. Leo Gibson's doing a fantastic job.
Banana Henne with the arm. Foul. Meanwhile, when the ball came down to the carpet, foul called on Gerger Gibson.
Foul on Harrisburg 11, J.J. Gibson.
Now Neto. Nacho. Berto. Forward to Adam James. Under 2 to play. Who is going to come out victorious? Long ball for Leo. And Leo draws the foul. Or no, what do we have here? Too many. Do we have a bad change? Ron Corey in the referee's crease talking to the assistant referees.
Handball?
Did see Ron Corey indicate that it might have been, like you said, a handball. Oh, red card.
Harrisburg number 11, J.J. Gibson, has been ejected. Issued a red card due to foul accumulation.
Foul accumulation.
I was just getting ready to say, Nick, that I thought that last foul for him was his third just at overtime.
But it's for the second half.
Correct. But then they kind of let it play, and I didn't have the numbers in front of me. Obviously, the referee crew, that's what you have a fourth and a fifth official for, right there. Call it. Call head referee Ron Corey on over. You've got all 4 guys working over there.
So that will not result in a power play for Kansas City, but they will not have Gerger Gibson for the rest of the game. Under 2 minutes to play. Gibson heads it over to Ellis. Leo working so hard to try to get the ball. He settles it, slides it into the middle. Sosa making a run in there. Now a counter. Here comes Harrisburg with 1:44 left to play. It's Morgan. Slides it forward. Duvalella off the boards. Here is a chance by Barry. And he couldn't find the handle. Neto's got it. 1:32 to play in the game. Leo kicks it up to the half line. Headed back to Morgan. Morgan turns and faces. Now Valella with a shot. Just wide. Barry goes over to try to gather the ball back. Eske's there. Now Morgan. Morgan shoots. Blocked by Leo Gibson. Incredible block by Leo. Sacrificing his body. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Tied at 5 in overtime. Now a foul called on Ellis. Foul called on Ellis. Sosa goes off. Adam James and Nacho come back on along with Stefan Stokic. 5v5. 1:03 to play in the game. Harrisburg's De Oliveira. Thompson on the near side. 1 minute, under 1 minute to play. Long ball kicked out of bounds by De Oliveira. And the Comets have it. 53.9 seconds left.
I'm going to dust my brow off here, Nick. The intensity level of this game. Just put on the Midnight Express, man. You got a minute left. Kansas City Comets, Harrisburg Heat. Hot winter nights, Nick. Holy mackerel.
Timeout. Timeout called here, 53.9 seconds, and a timeout called by Kansas City. Folks, you can get updates on games like this on on MASL Primetime, on MASLsoccer.com. Be sure to check that out, and for the latest information, you also can subscribe to the MASL podcast at MASLsoccer.com. Listen to past episodes. Be sure you hit the subscribe button, and they're available on Apple Podcast. And the Comets would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brand. Starting production in 1817, Miter is a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. As we give you a look here at the head coach of the Heat, Pat Healy. He is going to be a terrific coach in this league.
He's already terrific, Nick. He's turned this thing around. I want to say, you know, I know Kevin Healy sent over some stats, but I want to say he's flipped this thing his first year 63%. Winning percentage of 63%. I think they went from like 5 or 6 wins the year before he got there. Then they got to 10, 11, or 12 his first year. And then look where they're at now.
Meanwhile, Leo Gibson and Alan Matingu talking to the team. Kevin Ellis comes back on. Kevin Ellis may have twisted his ankle, but Kevin looks like he's playing through it right now.
So I like coming out of the timeout right here. You're 53 seconds left here. Pat Healy has Dom Francis on high pressure with John Sosa in the back. If our crew could span out a little bit, you see up here in your top of your corner here, I love this philosophy. Oh, you got to make the Comets go big by the goalkeeper, not by your best defensive player from a distribution standpoint. So that's what happens. Ball goes up in the air. It's a great call by Pat Healy. And look what happens. Dom Francis got the ball. Foul down in your defensive end.
And just like that, Harrisburg with a chance on the restart. 46.8 seconds left. Villela.
Keep an eye on De Oliveira over here on the left top.
Off the glass, into the middle, kicked away by the Comets. Now Dielton De Oliveira just hits a rocket into section 100, that is.
See, for me, Nick, on that situation where there's so many guys that are in the box right there, for me, you put that ball not necessarily low and in the box, but you make sure you get it around frame just to create a potential scenario where that ball's bouncing around. You try to go for the, 25-yard banger.
Low percentage.
Yep.
Neto throws long. Headed up into the air. Ellis into the corner. Follows it there. He is fouled. No call. Popped up into the air. Tavoy Morgan. 30 seconds left in the game. Here's Morgan down the right side. Tavoy Morgan cuts it back in. Over to Villela. Now front and center. Eske with a drive. Correction, Hundelt, and that one out of bounds. 20 seconds left.
I'll tell you what, Nick. I was thinking down on the offensive end there for the Comets that Kevin Ellis and Leo would get a little bit better, combination play, get that ball down, but it kind of bounced off the boards awkwardly for Kevin. He couldn't do anything about it. And then, Tavoy Morgan's running at you. Gosh. You got to be, I'm holding my breath over here. That guy's exciting.
Neto throws long once again, and then headed out of bounds by Hundelt.
You draw something up right here.
17 seconds left. And another Sosa to Leo. Gibson with under 10 to play. Gibson shoots. Oh, the ball out front loose. Oh, with 3 seconds left, driven back in there, and it goes in! It goes in! It goes in! In the final seconds, it goes in, the Comets win! Unbelievable! How did that happen? I can't believe it, Lucas Rodriguez! He scores the goal! It's 6-5, Comets win! Incredible!
Just when you thought it wasn't going to go in by Leo, it takes a deflection. Lucas Rodriguez puts it in with his right foot. Look at that ball. Squirrels right across the line right there by Leo Gibson. Dom Francis clears it out. And Lucas, right foot, own goal.
Oh!
Dylan Hundelt puts it in the back of the net.
Oh my gosh, crazy game.
Lucas Rodriguez gets the hat trick on the
absolutely crazy game. Oh.
I think that ball took 2 deflections, Nick.
That was off of, that looks like Barry. I think it might have been Marcel Barry. Lucas comes up with the hat trick. He is our player of the game. Oh my gosh, Rodriguez scores the last 2 goals of the game for the Comets. Rodriguez is 7th on the year, 6-5. Comets win over the Harrisburg Heat. This is absolutely incredible. What a game.
What do we say, Nick? Put the ball in the mix, right?
Just as you said, just put it in play, put it in there.
It's a great shot of the ball sitting in the back of the net. Probably didn't even have enough pace to hit the net because that thing just barely squirted right in there. 2 deflections. Lucas Rodriguez, the heady veteran, puts it in the mix. Nick, I need a nap.
What a gutty performance by the Comets. Let's look at the last play once again. The rebound comes off, and Lucas, this is about 1.2 seconds left, maybe less than that. Double deflection.
Double deflection.
Oh.
It's heartbreaking.
And as elated as the Comets are, think about how stinging it must be for the Harrisburg Heat to go off losers. Let's go down to Steve Serrano.
Clutch at the very last second. What's going through your mind at that exact time?
Oh, I thought that we played a good game. I thought that we shown that we had the better team, and sometimes you have to dig in deep until the last second to be able to make playoffs. And we knew that this game was important for us, and thanks to the fans for the energy, we were able to pull it together and win at the end.
A very emotional game for both teams, too. I mean, how were you guys able to put those emotions to the side and really make sure you finish this game?
No, just believing in your teammates, believing on the plan. We have a mission, we have a purpose, and I think we, through the up and downs of the game, we shown that we wanted to win until the last minute, and we refused to lose, and that's what happened.
Anything you want to say to these fans before you head out?
Go Chiefs.
There you go. Go Chiefs. Congratulations. A big win for your Kansas City Comets. Guys, back up to you.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Lucas Rodriguez. You are our man of the match. Comets win 6-5. They improve to 6-5. And the Harrisburg Heat fall to 9-5.
Huge win for the Comets, Nick. Huge win for the Comets. And I will tell you, listen, first off, this Harrisburg Heat team is for real.
Yep, they are.
Okay. I can't walk away from watching that game and saying one team was definitively better than the other. Whichever team won that game might have just came from something just like that right there. Pat Healy's doing a great job. If I'm Carl Delmont and I'm Kevin Healy and I'm anybody in the East, I'm concerned about this team. They're for real. This was just a battle of 2 teams at a high level. And, man, listen, fantastic MASL soccer. That action is unbelievable. Nick, you and I were, listen, we'll tell you fans at home, Nick and I were on our feet for the last 10 minutes of that game, last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter plus overtime. What a testament to our league.
Our headset cords are not that long, but let me tell you, they were long enough for us to pace back maybe a couple of steps each way. We were both pacing. All right, that's going to do it, you guys. A lot of thanks to our crews, Brad Zimmerman, Rachel Tooney, Chris Wright, Brock Barton, Paul Stokes, Megan Hedrick. Thank all of you for stopping by on MASL TV and watching this game. For my broadcast partner, Brian Budzinski, I'm Nick Vassos. Once again, the final score. Comets win it in the last second of overtime by a score of 6-5. Good night from Silverstein Ice Centers Arena.
Fred, did you remember to set out the trash?
Ah, I forgot, but I'll get it.
And I'm sure you remembered that tomorrow's our anniversary, right?
Sure I did, honey.
Oh, did you remember to notify Missouri 1 call to have the underground utilities marked?
Ah, I forgot. But I need to do that before we get started.
Fred, there are some things in this world you should never forget, and that's one of them.
You're right.
At Domino's, a delivery gone wrong doesn't just hurt your pizza night.
It hurts our pride. We're going to be expediting this order.
It could be a missing dipping sauce. It could be a wrong topping. It arrives cold.
With Domino's new delivery insurance, if your delivery isn't what you expected, make a claim, and we'll make it right.
I noticed you had an issue with your last delivery.
To make up for it, I brought you a medium pizza.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You're welcome. Get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas delivered for $5.99 each.
And put our delivery insurance to the test.
Number 30, midfielder Hector Solorio.